Matt, did you watch or listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Tucker Carlson?
I did. I thought the last hour was awesome. I don't know. I guess the alien thing, I feel like I already know.
It's so beyond our comprehension.
Wanting a little bit more nuggets of like the Nixon.
And the JFK.
Not really so much the UFOs.
Yeah, the Nixon thing.
Richard Nixon was taken out by the FBI and CIA.
I think you can go into conspiracy as well.
That goes into a bigger, like rabbit hole than the whole UFO thing.
I mean, it really does, yeah. UFO, UAP, aliens, afterlife, and everything like that. He talked about Project Aqua or Project Kona Blue.
These are an advanced race of beings from somewhere else.
UFOs, UAPs, I think they're two different things. And the government is kind of like throwing that out there. UFOs are extraterrestrial.
Okay.
And UAPs are government made.
So Tucker has this idea or theory, what he's come up with, but he's actually talked to government officials that know the ins and outs of the project beings or extraterrestrials or whatever you want to call them. And he thinks that they don't come from outside of our solar system, that they've always been here, basically live underneath the water.
I mean, that is one of the theories that's been a theory that's dating back to how long, and we've talked about it a million times.
We have.
One of the things that I really, not so much this episode that you're talking about, but I really wish we discussed the theory of Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Where he talks about, and I would love to talk to this guy, because he talks about like there was different races that kind of seeded this planet.
Yep.
I think that's a bigger thing than our government has technology, because I feel like they do.
So they did get into that as well. Like, do you believe in either like evolution or anything like that? Tucker talks about it. They talked about it a little bit, where they go into, he doesn't think evolution happened, like we didn't come from apes or anything like that, that we were actually seeded on this planet.
I think we were, because the same thing where I asked a question about like dogs.
Yeah.
If all dogs are descendants of wolves,
yeah,
how do they get these little Shih Tzus or little poodles? Like, it doesn't make sense. I guess my mind can't grasp like thousands and millions of years of evolution, but I'm like, it's been going on that long. Same thing with us. Like, it doesn't make sense.
What made sense to me was that he talked about how every ancient civilization has thought of a higher being and seen these crafts in the sky. All the cave drawings, hieroglyphics, everything in the past, you see these crafts and shapes. And then going back to Billy Carson, he talks about, the technology that this world had back ancient civilizations, even
to build
with
the pyramids, yeah.
And, the ancient UFO wars, basically alien wars that turn the sand into glass. And if you know how hot of a temperature that needs to be, that the technology needed to be there, it begs the question, how much does our government actually really know, and why aren't they telling us? Because if they're here, like they say in this Project Aqua or Kona Blue, whichever one, because they actually put out the documents that they were leaked.
Yeah, they're only like slivers. So
they are.
You don't
slivers.
Know anything that actually goes on with these things.
But he did talk to the guy who was the Pentagon about it.
Yeah, but why would he tell Tucker this? Like, Tucker's in the news. Wouldn't
because
you say,
that's
like,
how
Tucker
you get shit out.
I get that, but it's like, all right.
How any of these leaks happen.
Come on, throw it out there.
Like, if I was from another planet, I don't know how much I'd give a shit about.
These things, I understand, like, it was an interesting topic, and like I said, I was more sparked my interest with the Nixon, kind of JFK, the government actually controlling shit more so than the UFO stuff, because I feel like the UFO stuff has been like ad nauseum. Like, people don't see it for themselves. Seeing is believing. They're not going to believe it unless it kind of just lands, like everybody says, on the White House front lawn.
And here was another thing that they brought up in that podcast that I thought was very interesting. There's going to be a book coming out about the Manhattan Project, the nuclear bomb.
That's what I want to talk about.
Is
like
where
the Philadelphia experiment.
Where did they get the technology from? Where did the idea come from? And this guy said he's been researching it for 2 years and can't find a starting point.
That's why I would love, and I'm tying this back to Billy Carson, and he has this Forbidden Knowledge TV, and I would love to talk to him, because one of the things that I've never heard it asked to him, like, he's been on a bunch of shows, why aren't mainstream media people, scholars, talking about like what he's talking about? Because he always says, don't take his word for it, do your research.
Yeah.
Like, and if it's truly there and it's out there and like this is just his interpretation, or I would love to hear some people on the other side or even debate him he's been talking about this planet being seeded by different extraterrestrials. That kind of theory and him intrigues me more with the aliens than this Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson episode.
It just all makes you think of how much, higher ups know. What are they not telling us? Because they do think they are hostile. I mean, if you look back at, what they said about nuclear weapons, taking bases offline, taking nuclear weapons offline, and things like that.
Then why would they let us drop the bomb, in World War II? Like, why would they do certain things but not others? That's weird, it doesn't make sense to me. And are they working with our governments? Not just the United States government, but the governments around the world? Because then that begs the question, why certain governments are contacted with these people and others aren't?
Yeah, I don't know. But it really makes you think of where they are and where they come from. Outer space, or are they, underneath the sea?
Or is it just our own military and this is just like a lie? Because I've heard that in a couple episodes, like even Joe talked about it. What if this is just like a big ruse? Yeah, aliens, but it's really us doing this crazy stuff, and maybe we do have this technology from
way back in the day, yeah.
And then this is just them keeping it.
I don't know. It really makes me think about how much we don't even know. People don't question, and why.
I think it's also too because there's too much going on in our daily lives, and we're too busy swiping and doing all this other random crap.
We are.
That I don't know. I think there's more to it. That's the thing. When they talk about it, it's like, oh, I talked to this person and I talked to that person, and oh, this is what they said, but I don't have any tangible proof.
Well, no, he did, because they released the project.
Yeah, but it's only
Aqua,
a snippet, and when you read it, it's like, all right, well, here's.
The same thing when they talked about the JFK in the later stages of that interview. They talked about how come that no one, none of the documents were released.
Well,
because everyone's dead.
Well, I agree with Tucker, and he's been saying this for a long time, where he said they're not protecting individuals, they're protecting institutions.
Yeah, it's the institution, the
and
CIA.
I totally agree with that, but I don't know, man. Like, there's, again, with all this stuff, I want more. There's no video. There's no, I don't know. There's nothing to this. I want to see videos. Like, I want us to break down and discuss videos. This is just like a topic that we can go on for hours.
It is, and it's awesome. I love it. I love this topic, and I love that more people are starting to talk about it mainstream wise. If you go back and look at that interview, it's already had 9 million views. 9 million views.
An object that is by definition supernatural.
Yeah, are just because those are two big names and they want to hear us, or does it really have to do with UFOs and people wanting more?
I think it just has to do with conspiracies and UFOs and everything.
We're gonna have to bleep that one out. Bleep that out. Bleep.
That people love that stuff.
I mean, I think people do love that stuff, and I don't know. We're always looking for the meaning of life. We're always looking what else is out there, how to improve ourselves on a daily basis, and are aliens really real? I would say a good majority of the people from around the world really want to know if aliens are real.
I would love to know.
And then why haven't we seen an alien on a videotape? We see these crafts. We don't see aliens itself unless they are us, because they seeded this planet.
An advanced race of beings from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I always thought that aliens are really us, either in the future or they somehow seeded us from the future and we kind of got what we have today.
It's interesting to think about.
So you would say you believe them, you give them a thumbs up, hard thumbs up?
Yes, I would give them a thumbs up.
Thumbs up for Greg on this one. I mean, I like this topic, but I feel like there's nothing tangible to hold on to. I want more. Until we have more, I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
All right.
I want to talk to Billy more than, these guys.
All right.
Because, I don't know. I think there's something to Billy's theory, where we came from, some of the technology that we used to have. And if you listen to him talk, he has experiences himself.
He does.
And he actually takes people on these trips.
Mm-hmm, to see it for themselves.
Yeah, like in Africa, to some of these pyramids and even pyramids around the world. That was another thing and another topic I would love to do.
That no one knows how many pyramids around the world.
Yeah, and then people keep sharing this one picture that I saw in the Grand Canyon.
Yes, I've seen that.
I don't know if that's fake or not, because I've never been there. So.
Yeah, I don't know if that's fake or not. And then they say the tallest pyramid is in Antarctica.
I don't know. There's too much to really think about in your head. So let us know your thoughts. Do you believe in UFOs? Is there something to this? Do you want more? And where do we get this information from to get more? We want more. I don't know. Send us your videos. Until we meet again in the shadows.
Stay spooky. If you were on a plane and you saw a UFO, I think you would shit yourself.
I think they would shoot us down.
You would shoot them down.
Pew, pew. No, I think they would shoot us down. They would be like, pew, 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 pew,
Why
pew,
would they
pew,
shoot you
pew,
down?
pew, 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 pew. Why not?
What are we in the? What was that? The movie?
When you see an ant in your house, what do you do?
Smash that.
Yeah, see, so if there was a little ant flying around, you'd be like, smash.